There are many places with extraordinary traditions, but it is surely hard to believe that on one of the most beautiful and fascinating islands on Earth, there are unique and controversial customs, such as placing the deceased in cages under a sacred tree instead of burying them, allowing young couples to run away together from their homes when their love does not have the approval of their families, filing down the teeth of children when they reach puberty, and even being a favorite destination for women in search of romance because of the so-called Kuta Cowboys, men who work as tour guides but are predisposed to having intimate relationships with some tourists. An island as enigmatic as its most desired festival, known as the Kissing Festival, a custom in which every year the gathered crowd pushes groups of young single women and men against each other to kiss passionately with the intention of attracting good luck. In this new uncensored world video, we are going to learn more about Bali, one of the most famous islands in the world for its beauty, but as you will see, also one of the most extraordinary places on the planet. Bali, a place where it is always summer, which combines mysticism with ancestral traditions that you will soon discover. With unique curiosities, such as being the island with the most temples on the planet, and also with the most spas, producing the most expensive coffee in the world, obtained from the feces of a small mammal, or hosting paradisiacal beaches, some of which have become a paradise for surfers from all over the world. Pay attention, because while we learn about the most surprising curiosities, we will also travel through the most wonderful and mysterious places in Bali, such as temples suspended on cliffs, the most beautiful rice terraces on the planet, majestic active volcanoes and its paradisiacal beaches. Don't miss this video, because we assure you that discovering Bali with uncensored world will surprise you. Let's get started. This new journey through one of the most wonderful places on Earth begins by crossing the Handara Gate, an immense and legendary ancient gateway that has become one of the most emblematic places in Bali. Surrounded by majestic mountains and a landscape that seems to have come straight out of a dream, the Handara Gate is often shrouded in a dense mist that makes anyone who discovers this place feel as if they are entering paradise. The atmosphere that surrounds this Handara Gate is magical, almost unreal, because when you cross it, you have the sensation of being transported to a world where time stands still, where harmony reigns between man and nature. An entrance to the heart of Bali, an island where spirituality, natural beauty, and ancestral traditions make us feel in paradise. In the heart of Indonesia, a vast archipelago recognized as one of the places with the greatest natural beauty on the planet, lies Bali, one of its most captivating and beautiful islands not only in the country but also in the world. Indonesia, with its more than 17,000 islands, is the fourth most populous country in the world and is home to the largest Muslim population on the planet. However, Bali is a unique exception. It is the only Hindu island in this immense, predominantly Muslim country, a detail that makes it even more special. Hinduism arrived in Bali centuries ago, brought by the nobles and priests of the ancient Majapahit kingdom, who, following the expansion of Islam in Java and the rest of Indonesia, found in Bali a refuge where they could preserve their religion and traditions. Today, this cultural and spiritual heritage permeates every corner of the island, from the majestic temples to the colorful daily ceremonies that reflect the Balinese connection with the divine. Bali is not just one island, but a small archipelago made up of 4 islands, the main one, Bali, along with Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan, and Nusa Keningan. These islands, surrounded by crystal-clear waters and crowned by volcanic mountains and rice terraces, are a testament to the diversity and natural wealth of the region. As we mentioned, throughout this trip we will explore the most beautiful and desirable places in Bali, while learning about its history and fascinating curiosities. That's why we're stopping now at Nusa Penida, one of the 4 islands that make up the Balinese archipelago, known for its famous Kelingking beach and its abundant and colorful marine life, which make it an unmissable destination for tourists, beach lovers, and divers. Kelingking Beach, with its iconic cliff in the shape of the mythical dinosaur Tyrannosaurus rex, is one of the most impressive landscapes in all of Indonesia. Its white sand and crystal-clear waters offer a paradise-like environment, although reaching the beach requires a challenging hike up steep stairs carved into the rock. In addition, the views from the lookout point are simply spectacular, especially at sunset, when the horizon is tinged with warm colors. But Nusa Penida is not only famous for its beach, but also for its extraordinary marine life. The waters surrounding the island are a refuge for manta rays, whale sharks, and the enigmatic mola fish. This giant of the oceans is one of the heaviest bony fish in the world, with an average weight of 1,000 kilograms and specimens that can exceed 3 meters in length. What is most striking about the mola is its peculiar appearance. Its flattened, almost circular body seems to have been designed by nature's most extravagant imagination. With its large dorsal fin protruding from its minimal tail, this fish seems to float rather than swim, adding an aura of mystery to its already unusual figure. An encounter with this impressive inhabitant of the ocean is a unique experience that makes Nusa Penida a paradise for divers and lovers of marine life. Bali is not only a paradise on the surface, but also underwater, being one of the places with the greatest marine biodiversity in the world. The waters surrounding the island form part of the Coral Triangle, a region known as the epicenter of global marine life. Here there are more than 3,000 species of fish, double the number that inhabit the Great Barrier Reef, together with an impressive variety of corals. This unique environment makes Bali a dream destination for divers and lovers of underwater life, where each dive is a window into a vibrant and colorful world. It is for all these reasons that Nusa Penida attracts divers from all over the world. The intact coral reefs and the diversity of species make this place an underwater paradise, perfect for snorkeling and diving. For this and many other reasons that you will learn about throughout this video, Bali has become an important tourist destination for decades, attracting millions of visitors every year. Its tropical climate, with warm temperatures all year round, gives the feeling of living in an eternal summer, making the island a perfect refuge for those seeking sun, beach, and adventure. Bali's colonial past has also left its mark on its history. For centuries, the island was part of the Dutch domain, which influenced some aspects of its economy and culture. However, Bali managed to keep its cultural and spiritual roots intact, resisting colonization and preserving its unique identity. An identity as unique as some of its traditions, surely among the most extraordinary and controversial on the planet, such as the Metata ceremony, also known as the teeth-filing tradition. As strange and chilling as it may seem, in Bali, puberty begins with filing the teeth. This ritual, deeply rooted in Balinese culture, marks the transition from childhood to puberty and symbolizes the individual's entry into spiritual and social maturity. It is a ceremony full of symbolism and mysticism that connects young people to their cultural and religious roots. The metata consists of filing down the 6 upper front teeth, considered the most visible. According to Balinese beliefs, these teeth represent the 6 human defects that must be controlled: anger, lust, greed, pride, confusion, and envy. By smoothing the edges of the teeth, the ritual symbolizes the purification of the soul and the elimination of the negative aspects of human nature. The process is usually carried out in an elaborate ceremony, surrounded by songs and offerings, in the presence of family and loved ones. The ceremony, although intimate, is full of fascinating details. The young people wear traditional Balinese attire and recline on a mat while the priest performs the ritual. Simple tools are used, such as a metal file, and although it may seem painful, it is performed with great care and respect. At the end of the process, the filed teeth are sprinkled with holy water to purify them, and the young person receives blessings to begin this new stage of life. Today, the metata is as much a religious act as it is a family celebration, a moment in which tradition and modernity converge, reflecting the cultural richness of Bali. Years later, many of these young people will participate in another of the island's most controversial traditions, known as the Omed-Omedan Kissing Festival, and some of them, when they die, will be placed outdoors under a sacred tree following another of these extraordinary customs, which we will learn about on this journey. Until then, it is important to learn about the present and the past, and many other curiosities of Bali, realities that will help us better understand the reasons that make it so extraordinary. To begin with, it is good to know that the name of the island, Bali, means offering, a word that perfectly captures the essence of its culture. The Balinese consider life to be a balancing act between the divine and the earthly, and this is reflected in the countless offerings found on every corner, from small home altars to the spectacular temples that adorn the landscape. A fascinating curiosity of Bali is its naming system. Only 4 names are used, the same number as its islands, for boys and girls, which reflect the order of birth. They are Wayan, Made, Nyoman, and Ketut. This detail, although simple, is a reminder of the social structure and traditions deeply rooted on the island. Deep-rooted traditions such as the caste system in Bali, which, although less strict than in other Hindu cultures, also exists on this island and continues to play an important role in its social structure. This hierarchy is based on 4 main levels: the Brahmanas, who are the priests and spiritual leaders; the Kshatriyas, made up of nobles and warriors; the Vaisyas, who include merchants and artisans; and the Sudras, who make up the majority of the population and represent the workers. Although the castes do not absolutely dictate daily life, they continue to influence religious ceremonies, marriages, and cultural traditions. One surprising aspect of this system is how it affects men and women unequally, especially in marriage. If a woman of a lower caste marries a man of a higher caste, she moves up the social ladder along with her children, which is considered an honor. However, if the opposite happens, and a woman of a higher caste marries a man of a lower caste, she loses her status, a fact that has generated debates about gender equality within these rigid traditions. Although some Balinese women have begun to challenge these norms in search of greater equality, the caste system is still a cultural curiosity that reveals the complexity of traditions on this fascinating island. As you can see, marriage traditions in Bali are deeply influenced by the caste system and cultural expectations. That is why the island is also home to a practice as fascinating as it is controversial, known as ngemaling, or consensual abduction. On this beautiful island, arranged marriages, where families choose spouses for their children, are still common, especially in the higher castes, where preserving lineage and social position is a priority. These traditions often clash with the personal feelings of young lovers, especially when their choice does not align with family expectations or when they come from different castes. When this happens, some of these couples resort to consensual abduction, a custom that allows couples to elope without the approval of their families. Although the term abduction might sound alarming, in reality it is an act planned and agreed upon by both parties. Once the couple returns, the families tend to accept the union, as it is considered a fait accompli, and a ceremony is held to formalize the marriage. Ngemaling is a reflection of the tension between deep-rooted traditions and individual desires. For some, it symbolizes a romantic and courageous act in the name of true love, while for others, it represents a lack of respect for family norms. Despite the controversies, this practice continues to be a cultural curiosity that adds a unique nuance to love stories in Bali, revealing how the island combines tradition with modern aspirations. And speaking of how Bali seems to live in a time of its own, there is a fascinating fact that will surely surprise you. On this island, they are living almost 100 years behind according to the Gregorian calendar, since here the year is 1943. This temporal disconnection is due to the fact that Bali continues to use its own system of traditional calendars, deeply rooted in its culture and religion, which coexist with the Western calendar. Ancestral realities, such as its deep spirituality and the majesty of its temples, have made Bali known as the Island of the Gods. This nickname not only reflects the devotion that permeates every corner of the island, but also gives it a fascinating title. It is the island with the largest number of temples on the entire planet. This impressive density of temples, which number more than 20,000, is due to the strong spiritual connection that the Balinese maintain with their land and their Hindu traditions. In Bali, every home has a small family temple. Every village has at least 3 main temples dedicated to different aspects of life, and then there are the great temples that stand as symbols of the whole community. These temples not only have a religious function, but also represent a link between man, nature, and the divine. Built with intricate designs and surrounded by natural landscapes, the temples of Bali are authentic works of art that combine carved stone, majestic doors, and the tropical beauty of the surroundings. Among all these temples, one of the most emblematic is the Temple of Uluwatu, located on the edge of an imposing cliff that seems to suspend it in the air, causing a feeling of astonishment and vertigo. Its position, 70 meters above the Indian Ocean, combines drama and majesty, while the constant roar of the waves against the rocks reinforces the sacred and powerful atmosphere of this unique place. Uluwatu is dedicated to the guardian spirits of the sea, and not only dazzles for its location, but also for the magic that surrounds it at sunset. The views from here are simply unforgettable, with the sun sinking into the horizon as the waves crash against the rocks. In addition, the temple is the setting for a unique cultural spectacle, the traditional Kekak dances, an open-air theatrical performance where dozens of men perform hypnotic songs while narrating episodes from the Ramayana, an epic Hindu poem. But in Bali, spirituality is not limited to temples and ceremonies. It is also a way of life that seeks balance in all aspects of existence. Balinese people live according to the philosophy of Trihita Karana, a kind of Costa Rican-style pura vida, pure life, which serves as a spiritual guide for Balinese people and translates as the 3 causes of well-being: harmony with God, harmony with nature, and harmony with the community. This philosophy not only governs their rituals and their relationship with the environment, but also their way of finding beauty, calm, and satisfaction in everyday life. It is surely thanks to this way of understanding well-being that Bali is not only known as the island with the most temples per square kilometer, but also as the island with the most spas in the world. With more than 1,200 of these centers dedicated to care and relaxation, Bali is a refuge for those looking to pamper themselves and reconnect with their body and mind. Among the most outstanding experiences is the Balinese massage, a technique that combines Chinese and Indian traditions to release tension, improve circulation, and harmonize body energy. This holistic approach to life, where people pray and care for their spirit, but also enjoy beauty and physical well-being, makes Bali a place where calm and serenity are as palpable as the scent of the flowers that adorn its daily offerings. A scent and a peace that have a lot to do with one of Bali's most controversial and unique traditions, the Cetra Trunyan. This ancient funeral practice, exclusive to the village of Trunyan, near the beautiful Mount Batur volcano that you will soon get to know, has intrigued visitors and scholars for centuries. Instead of burying or cremating the deceased, as is common in most Balinese Hindu communities, the inhabitants of Trunyan display the bodies in the open air, under the protective shade of a sacred tree known as a taru menyan. The name Trunyan derives precisely from this sacred tree, whose name means fragrant tree. The taru menyan emits a natural and penetrating perfume that has the particularity of neutralizing the odors of decomposition, a phenomenon that allows the bodies to rest in the open air and in peace, without emitting any unpleasant aroma. A characteristic that the community interprets as a divine blessing and a sign of the special connection between the tree and the spirits of the deceased. The corpses are placed in this village, under this tree carefully in bamboo cages called ankak saji, designed to protect the bodies from animals while remaining completely exposed to the elements. But not all Trunyan inhabitants can receive this type of open-air burial. This rite is reserved only for those who have died naturally and without contagious diseases. People who die in other circumstances, such as by accident or serious illness, are buried or treated using other funeral rituals. The Cetra Trunyan is not only steeped in symbolism, but also reflects ancient animist beliefs that coexisted with Hinduism when it arrived in Bali. The practice considers that the spirit of the deceased remains in harmony with nature through this process. That is why the villagers of Trunyan believe that the Taru Menyan tree not only absorbs odors, but also acts as a sacred link between the living and the dead, protecting the community and guaranteeing the spiritual peace of the deceased. Curiously, there is only room for a limited number of bodies under the sacred tree. Once the remains have completely decomposed, the skulls and other bones are collected and placed in a specific area as part of the ritual of respect and remembrance of the ancestors. This reinforces the idea that death, in Trunyan, is both an end and a continuity. The dead return to nature, while their spiritual legacy lives on among their descendants. For visitors, the Cetra Trunyan offers a unique insight into the rich cultural and spiritual diversity of Bali. However, due to the deeply sacred nature of this ritual, those who wish to observe it must show absolute respect, following local rules and recognizing that this is not a spectacle, but an ancestral tradition that connects the community to its deepest roots. These ancestral beliefs, like those of the Cetra Trunyan, reflect the deep connection of the Balinese with nature. In Bali, nature is not only a physical environment, but also a realm full of spiritual forces, and among all of them, volcanoes occupy a special place. The Balinese revere these imposing mountains as the abodes of the gods and sources of energy, recognizing their duality. They are both destructive and vital, feared and respected. In Bali, 3 volcanoes stand out for their spiritual and natural importance: Mount Agung, Mount Batur, and Mount Batu Karu. Of these, the first 2 are active volcanoes, and therefore the object of special reverence. Mount Agung, the highest on the island, is considered the navel of the world, and is believed to connect Bali with the cosmos. On the other hand, Mount Batur, although less imposing in height, attracts both locals and tourists for its extraordinary beauty and the unique experiences it offers. Mount Batur, with its summit reaching 1,700 meters above sea level, is one of Bali's most emblematic active volcanoes. One of the most popular and wonderful experiences is to hike to the summit at dawn. Hikers set off in the early morning darkness, illuminated only by flashlights and the starry sky, to reach the summit just in time to witness the spectacle of sunrise. From there, the views are simply unforgettable. The sun rises slowly, illuminating Lake Batur resting in the crater and painting the mountainous landscape in shades of gold and pink. The clouds often envelop the area, creating an almost magical atmosphere that makes the effort of the ascent worthwhile. This experience not only connects visitors with nature, but also allows them to feel the spiritual heartbeat of Bali. Many Balinese consider Mount Batur to be a sacred place and make offerings on its slopes to honor the gods and spirits of the mountain. For tourists, it is a unique opportunity to combine adventure, natural beauty, and a glimpse of the spirituality that defines this island. Mount Batur is not just a volcano, it is a bridge between the earth, the sky, and the soul of Bali. Surely many of the tourists who climb with their partner to the top of Mount Batur will join in a passionate kiss to better enjoy this wonder. A kiss that has a symbolic connection with Bali's most extraordinary and controversial festival, one of the most eagerly awaited by thousands of young single men and women every year, the Omed-Omedan, better known as the Kissing Festival. In the depths of southern Bali, in the traditional village of Cetra, this unique event that defies expectations takes place every year. It is not just a festival or a simple ritual. Omed-Omedan combines tradition, humor, and a touch of mysticism. This celebration takes place the day after Nyepi, the famous Day of Silence that marks the Balinese New Year. Another surprising curiosity for many, as the Balinese New Year is celebrated by remaining completely silent. After the calm and reflection of that sacred day, the laughter and shouts of joy break the silence in this small community, where young single people gather to share a kiss which, according to tradition, ensures good health, prosperity, and protection against bad luck for the whole year. The dynamics of the festival are as curious as they are joyful. The participants, single women and men from the village, are divided into two groups, men on one side and women on the other. Amidst nervous laughter and shy glances, the representatives of each group are pushed into the center under the expectant gaze of the others. There is no place for privacy here. The kiss, the central symbol of this ceremony, is exchanged in public and is accompanied by a peculiar community baptism. Armed with buckets and containers, the spectators throw water at the participants, wetting both the protagonists and those who encourage them to come closer. The chaotic and vibrant scene is filled with laughter and applause. The kisses are quick, timid, or awkward, but the objective is clear: to strengthen community ties and keep alive a tradition that connects young people with their roots. This symbolic exchange is not only an act of fun, but also a way of renewing the collective spirit of the village. The Omed-Omedan tradition, passed down from generation to generation, is loaded with meaning. It is said to be intended to attract prosperity and protect the community from evil spirits. The stories told by the village elders add an air of mystery to the event. It is said that, in ancient times, those who tried to stop this tradition caused disasters, reaffirming the importance of carrying out the ritual as an act of respect for the ancestors. At the end of the day, soaked but happy, the young people retire knowing that they have participated in a unique tradition, where a kiss and a bucket of water represent much more than a simple game. They are a reminder of the value of community, the hope of a shared future, and the connection with the cultural roots that make Bali an extraordinary place. However, for some, this desire for connection in Bali takes less traditional paths. On the beaches of Kuta, a more modern and controversial reality emerges: the so-called Kuta Cowboys. These Balinese men, known for their charm and carefree attitude, often catch the attention of female tourists looking for more than just a cultural experience. For many of these women, romance or intimate relationships with a Kuta cowboy become a way of living out a romantic fantasy in this tropical paradise. The Kuta Cowboys, famous for their ability to win people over with a mixture of charisma and exoticism, represent a particular phenomenon in Bali. In some cases, these relationships transcend the ephemeral, becoming deep emotional bonds. In others, they are limited to passing adventures. What is undeniable is that these interactions are shrouded in a mixture of fascination, mystery, and at times controversy, as they clash with the island's more conservative cultural norms. For some, this dynamic reflects an exchange of interests. While tourists enjoy the company and charm of the cowboys, these men, often from humble communities, find an opportunity to improve their economic situation. This phenomenon raises questions about modernity and traditions, showing how Bali, despite its deeply spiritual roots, also faces the nuances of a globalized world. Bali, with its unique spirituality and traditions, is also a land of contrasts. From rituals celebrating community connection to the modern realities of cross-cultural interaction, the island offers a kaleidoscope of experiences that invite both reflection and enjoyment. At this point, we would like to ask you, would you like to take part in the Bali Kiss Festival? Would you like to meet the Kuta Cowboys? And what has surprised you most about this incredible place? Pause the video and leave us your comment. You know that doing so is the best way you have of supporting Uncensored World, so that we can continue working every week, bringing you content as interesting as this. So thank you. Amidst these traditions and curiosities, Bali has also positioned itself as one of the most desired destinations for digital nomads, thanks to its mix of natural beauty, hospitality, and a surprisingly low cost of living. Here, not only tourists find a temporary paradise, but also those who seek to settle for seasons while working remotely. One of the biggest attractions is the rental of villas and houses which, for much more affordable prices than in other destinations, offer a level of luxury that seems like something out of a dream. For example, In Bali, you can rent a villa with a private garden and swimming pool for between $500 and $1,500 a month, depending on the location and amenities, a reality that has nothing to do with life in many Western countries. There are also cheaper options, such as entire houses with a garden for as little as $300 a month, ideal for those looking to live comfortably in a tropical environment without spending a fortune. These offers, combined with the warm climate and relaxed atmosphere, have made Bali one of the favorite destinations for those who work from anywhere in the world or backpack around the world, stopping for a few months in one of the most beautiful and, as you can see, extraordinary corners of the planet. Another interesting aspect for any tourist is that both Bali and the rest of Indonesia are among the cheapest countries in the world, something common in much of Southeast Asia. To give you an idea, in Bali it is possible to find hostels where spending a night costs less than $30, enjoy a delicious typical dinner for less than $10, or have a Balinese coffee for around $1. This affordable cost of living allows you to enjoy a rich and varied experience without the need for a big budget. Speaking of coffees, that would be the price of a normal coffee. But don't even think about ordering kopi luwak coffee, because although it is made from the excrement of a mammal, it is considered the most expensive coffee in the world. This exclusive coffee, also known as civet coffee, is produced in Indonesia and has gained international fame not only for its peculiar production process, but also for its unique flavor and price. Kopi luwak is made from coffee beans that are ingested and then digested by the civet, a small mammal that inhabits the jungles of Indonesia. The civet selects the best and ripest coffee cherries, which, according to experts, contributes to the exceptional quality of the final product. After digestion, the beans are excreted, collected, cleaned, and finally roasted to prepare this drink, one of the most exquisite and prized in the world. This process is not only laborious but also explains the high price attributed to it. The price of kopi luwak can vary considerably, reaching astronomical figures in some cases. In some shops, a cup can cost around $100, while a bag of beans can exceed even $1,000, depending on its quality and the reputation of the producer. As you have seen on the beaches of Kuta, while some people look for personal connections like those offered by the Kuta Cowboys, or live unique experiences like the kissing party, others take the opportunity to enjoy the affordable luxury that the island offers, and the few who can even savor the most expensive coffee on the planet. Of all the wonders and experiences that Bali has to offer, which one most arouses your desire to experience it? It will be great to read your answer in the comments and to give us a good like. At this point, it is very interesting to know how to get there and how to make the most of this fascinating island. A place that you will see is very well prepared for everything because it lives mainly off tourism. This is another of Bali's most surprising curiosities. At the end of the last century, this paradise island was, strange as it may seem, a little-known destination, reserved almost exclusively for adventurers and backpackers in search of unique experiences. Today, however, Bali has become one of the most popular destinations on the planet, attracting millions of visitors every year. It is estimated that around 80% of its economy depends directly on tourism, an impressive figure that reflects the impact of this industry on the daily life of the Balinese. For many, tourism is the main source of income, the basis that allows them to get ahead and preserve their culture while sharing the beauty of their island with the world. Getting to Bali is easier than ever, thanks to the connections offered by Ngurah Rai International Airport, also known as Denpasar Airport. From this point of entry, the magic of Bali begins to unfold, with transportation options that will take you to any corner of the island, from its best-known beaches to its most hidden temples. Furthermore, the ease of traveling without a visa for short stays or with a visa on arrival for longer periods has made Bali an accessible destination for tourists from all over the world. Bali's popularity is also due to its tropical climate, which offers warm temperatures all year round. The dry season between April and October is ideal for enjoying outdoor activities, while the rainy season from November to March brings vibrant greenery to the landscapes and a special tranquility, perfect for those seeking to disconnect from the crowds. This duality makes Bali an attractive destination at any time of the year. Getting around the island is part of the adventure, and the flexibility offered by rental motorbikes and taxis makes it easy to explore every corner. For those looking for authentic and affordable experiences, Bali offers hostels and accommodation ranging from the most basic to villas with private pools, as you have already seen, which has attracted backpackers and digital nomads looking for affordable luxury. Bali's transformation from a remote corner to a global tourist epicenter has not only been an economic change, but also a cultural one. The island has managed to preserve its identity and traditions, integrating them into its tourist offer, making each visit more than just a vacation. It is an immersion in a living culture that continues to flourish thanks to the balance between its legacy and the wonderful and unique opportunities of the present. From Uncensored World, we hope that this tour of the wonders and curiosities of Bali has been as exciting for you as it has been for us. With that in mind, and the effort that making these videos requires, we would love it if you could leave us a nice like, subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and leave us a nice comment. It's the best way you can help us to keep bringing you the best content every week. If you have enjoyed this video and you are not yet a subscriber, don't wait any longer. Subscribe now by clicking the bell so as not to miss the fascinating videos that we make every week. Videos like this one that you can enjoy now to learn about one of the most enigmatic corners of the planet. Don't miss it and discover the wonders that this place has to offer.